What's up, everybody? Welcome to Philly with PHLY. Can you hear me? Yes? Because I had something pop up on my screen that said there's liquid detected where my microphone is plugged into. I'm like, huh? What do you mean? And I unplugged it and plugged it back in. So hopefully everything is okay. We're live on a Tuesday morning. A lot to talk about, and we're going to do it. Tyler Zulli is here. But courtesy of blackgritty.com, Black Gritty joins the show on a Tuesday morning. Black Gritty, how are you?
It never fails, Johnny Marks. You was sounding good and crispy, and the next thing you know, you in the flood zone. I thought Jersey was flooded. I'm out here treading water, and now your device is underwater. What are we doing, Johnny Marks?
Can you hear me? Because it popped up again.
Yeah, your phone your computer need floaties. I hear you.
I was on vacation. It was sitting here the entire week.
I don't know.
Did somebody come in and take a bath with it? What is going on?
Hey, you might have a little leak in your basement. You know what I mean? You might have a little leak in your basement. Flash flooding.
Usually, I have leakage after I leave the urinal and I step to the sink and I'm like, uh-oh, leakage.
Oh God.
My prostate needs strengthening. I need to work on that pelvic floor again. All right, Black Gritty, we have a lot to talk about. Last night was the home run derby. Cal Raleigh. I mean, Jesus, a right-handed hitting catcher who has 38 home runs at the All-Star break wins the All. I mean, this guy's legit. Where the hell did he come from? This dude.
Where did anybody come from? This is the All-Star game of I don't give a hoot, Ann or Annie this year. And the cutest thing was they had a video of him at 8 years old talking about, I won the derby. I won the home run derby.
It was cute.
I was like, that was cute. That was cool. That's nice. That is a every kid dreams of moment, and I like that a lot. Like, I was like, that's awesome. The social media did a good job of that. Otherwise, like, baseball, what are you guys doing? I almost forgot that the home run derby was going on. Like, I'm sitting here watching flood videos, and everybody's like, home run derby's about to start. I'm like, oh yeah, I got let me go pay attention to something that kind of matters.
Well, I would say the flood videos kind of matter, but there's nothing you could do about it.
I mean, yeah,
terrible.
I had my swimmies on. I was prepared just in case. So I've showed videos for like my yard floods, but I live next to like one of those like little river dam things. So all the water on the streets comes down on my corner. So at least I know my house is going to flood. My front yard floods, my backyard floods, but it doesn't reach my house because that thing takes it out to a little lake.
Right.
And the lake was like level with the street. I'm like, if that thing goes over, oh man, I'm in trouble. But
well, that's where your house floods is when the lake can't handle all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
no, I saw those videos too, man. It really not that we didn't really get any rain up here, so it must have went south. I'm north and I'm west and north of the city. So, but I got the flash flood warning, but I was like, oh, well, great. But really, I mean, it rained hard for a little bit, but not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it was torrential here for like almost 2 hours straight. Like where I was like, I usually go out and sit and watch thunderstorms. I could not. There was water everywhere. My awning on my front porch was just pushing water onto nothing. It was overwhelming.
Well, hope everybody's okay out there from the flooding. We'll get to the Phillies coming up in a second. Here's somebody that isn't okay, Black Gritty. Paul George. I am shocked that he's injured. Shocked that a 35-year-old whose body is already showing that he's broken down. Oh, by the way, the Sixers just maxed him out. Has already had arthroscopic knee surgery yesterday because he was working out and he injured himself. Just a cleanup, though, I'm told by the pencil pushers. Just a cleanup. Clean up that knee. He hurt it. They're going to reevaluate him through training camp. I mean, what could possibly go wrong with the 76ers this year, Black Gritty?
So I say it all the time. There's something in the water that they drink over there in their stadium, because even the rookie got hurt. Like, what? I can't live a life where you just play basketball. Everybody has to get injured and reevaluated and ramp up. And Paul George is 9,000 years old, and I got Joel Embiid. Like, it really sucks being a Sixer fan. It sucks me, and I'm a LeBron fan, but I'm not like a Lakers fan. I never jumped to like being a Cleveland. I can't go anywhere else, Johnny Marks. I watched the listing of how many championships. It was like the Celtics, the Lakers, then it's LeBron, then it's the 76ers and the Warriors. And I'm like, I don't remember going to 9 championships as a 76er. Like, how many? What?
That's for other people. That's for our grandparents.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't live, Johnny Marks. It's so sad to be here.
Listen, if some of those championships were with a peach basket, they shouldn't count. So really, there's one championship for the 76ers. 67 76ers. Like, come on, man. Like, that counts for the franchise. It doesn't count for me. Any of the Warriors championships, they're not even in the city. They've been in the city for 50 years or more than that. So forget about that. Yeah, it's like we're doing the what if PHLY ranks. It's the what if week. And tonight at 7:00 is the 76ers. What if? What if they didn't do the process? And I was supportive of the process. I'm still supportive of the process. You didn't get the intended results. But what if? What if they didn't sell out for 3-4 seasons in a row? What if? You know, it couldn't be any worse. Team hasn't made it past the second round of the playoffs since in 25 years.
I would over that. I would take the what if Joel Embiid had the health of LeBron James. If Joel Embiid could play every single game, every single night, every single playoff game, we'd have 2 championships. That's my what if. Not what if the process, not what if you didn't draft Nuns Noel or you didn't draft Foles. Like, what if Joel Embiid was 100% healthy? Where would we be right now? And that's my what if he could just stay healthy.
Yeah, and it's like, with his body, it's probably never going to happen. What if Joel Embiid took basketball seriously as his craft? Like, got in shape, stayed in shape, was really committed to being 100% from, not Jump Street, but right. Like, what if it wasn't eating Chick-fil-A and Shake Shack and all that other stuff? I don't know, man. I mean, it's so disappointing because he's such a talent. And you know it, and it's always the caveat when I talk about Joel Embiid, which is like probably the most talented player I've ever seen, other than maybe Iverson. But even Iverson, like he was just a freak for being that size and what he could do. And Embiid's a freak the other way for being 7'2" and being able to shoot better than Iverson shot. I'm so conflicted because I really, really used to love the 76ers. And you know how I cope with it? I am a 76er fan that now enjoys watching the New York Knicks. That's how I cope with it. And if Jay Wright would have been the coach, I might have just been a Knicks fan. But he didn't.
So at least Allen Iverson showed up for games. No matter what you say, he showed up. He gave 100% of his body. He sacrificed his body all the time. He put on a show. And now I'm not a huge Marcus Hayes fan of how he handled Joel Embiid and talked about the family and his kid. But I'll say this. Joel Embiid himself said, now I have a son and I want him to look up to me and be proud of me. And then you miss meetings, then you miss team functions, and Smiley has to come out and call you out in the public media. Like, you yourself said, I want to make my son proud. You and I both have children. There is something to when your child looks at you because you showed up and did what you're supposed to do as a father, and they're proud of you, and it brings something to your heart where you're like, man, I got to do this for my kids. And I don't need credit for it, but when you say it out loud, I've got to be better for my son. I want him to look up to me and know that his dad did great things. Well, then, bro, you got to show up. You said that. You said those things. And I mean, my goodness gracious, Joel. It's just, what if, Johnny Marks? What if?
Yeah. What if they traded for Paul George 5 years ago, not last
you never
year,
would have won
5 years ago? Well, I know you wouldn't have. They're not winning
P.
with this. They're not winning with this.
Way off P. That's what I've been calling them. Playoff P. Way off P.
All right. Well, this portion of the program brought to you by Glad Hair Restoration. GladHairMM.com, 610-980-4000. Text them a photo of your hair and say, Johnny Marks told me to text. When I say a photo of your right here. Text them a photo, 610-980-4000. Yeah, so Paul George, arthroscopic knee surgery. Fun. Oh, I can't wait for this 76er season.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, so, you see this chain? Like the chain?
I do. That's hot.
The 76ers have as much credibility as this chain because this is my dog's leash. You know what I mean? This is Johnny Marks ain't even a chain player. That's how engaged the Sixers are. You know what I mean?
Is that really a choker? Chain. Is that a choker dog chain?
No, it's just a regular dog chain. I can put a choker on it, but it's tight to me. I mean, I keep my dog close when I'm training them lately. I got this gold on it. I mean, so ladies see me blinging when I walk on my dog down the street. You know what I'm saying? So he's tight up on me. I mean, he can't go nowhere. But it's a short leash, but it's a regular leash. But that doesn't look like a chain. Well, you put it on, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the Sixers. Fugazi, fake gold, fake chain, fake everything, Johnny Marks. But the fandom's real, Johnny Marks. The fandom's real.
All right. All-Star game is tonight. And then do they have 2 nights off after that? They have Wednesday and Thursday. I think, do they not start up again? Regardless.
Yeah.
You got a couple days off. So now it's kind of time to, they start back up Friday. Phillies will be they off on Friday too? The Phillies? No, they're home against the Angels. So I think that the fair question, because Dombrowski is going to make moves at the trade deadline. He needs relievers. He needs an impact bat, whether or not they're able to get exactly what they're looking for. But without seriously changing the DNA of this team, because we know their starting pitching is excellent, but it doesn't matter come playoff series because the starting pitchers aren't pitching 8 innings. They're not going into the 8th and 9th inning. I don't care how good they are. Really, it's so hard to do in the playoffs. So you have to ask yourself as a Phillies fan, and just remember this. Going into the season, there were a lot of Phillies fans that were very negative. And I stuck up for those Phillies fans, even though Tyler and I at the time said, listen, they're going to win 90 games at least just because their roster is good and they have the starting pitching. But I could see why Phillies fans were kind of on this season. And it's not that they weren't going to make the playoffs. It was, what has changed? What has changed with this roster? They went to the World Series. They had a historic collapse against the Diamondbacks where their offense totally got shut down. And then last year we saw what happened. And now the offense looks like it did last year. Kyle Schwarber has 30 home runs. Nobody else is really hitting home runs. There's no power. The impact bats are who? Bryce Harper? Okay. Hopefully in the second half. Bohm? Okay. Bohm's like an okay player despite Black Gritty and what he thinks about him. Like Castellanos is Castellanos. This offense isn't good enough to win a World Series, right? So I sit here not trying to be negative, John, trying to be positive, John. They're going to go to the playoffs. But do I see them advancing to the World Series and winning a World Series? I just don't. I don't. How about you?
The Phillies are winning the World Series.
Yeah, I know. Good.
The Phillies are winning the World Series. It looks dim, though. Dombrowski. So the problem is now everybody gets in the playoffs. That really is the problem. So baseball has fixed a lot of things. They made the game faster. But this, everybody gets a participation trophy, messes up everyone's trade deadline because no one wants to move anyone because everybody thinks that they're still in it and they've got a chance. And to be fair, if you watch the Phillies going Sixers land backwards, they went into a wild card game, caught fire, and everybody's like, well, what if we did that? What if this was our year to go to the World Series? And so no one wants to move anything. And now the trade deadline is like jumbled together, and Dombrowski just isn't making moves. He I don't know. I don't know. It's a scary time right now because we need things. Everything is by committee. The outfield, the bullpen, like third base, second base. Like there's so many parts where we're just moving things around, dude. Like, can we get some solidified? Can we get left field? Like, can we upgrade center field? Can we everyday guy? Like, I'm tired of this platoon everywhere.
Yeah, starter, a legit starter where it's like he doesn't come out when lefties. If it's a left-hander, he doesn't come out. There's no platoon. They desperately need it. Here's the other thing, and we know that they need bullpen help. There was a lot of talk of Aroldis Chapman from the Red Sox, and like you had said, everybody thinks they're in it, so they're not going to trade their closer if they're in a wild card. Even if they're 5 games out, look what the Diamondbacks did the year that they beat the Phillies. They had a strong post-trade deadline. The Red Sox went to the White House. You remember, it was weird how they kind of went to the White House because they didn't win a World Series in a couple of years.
Yeah.
They haven't lost a game since. 10 in a row. They traded Rafael Devers, and Boston went completely nuts because they didn't think like they got great return. They got that loser out of the clubhouse because no one liked him. And he refused to change positions, and it was all about him and everything else.
Addition and they've won traction.
They won 10 straight games. So now Chapman's not going to be involved in that trade deadline discussion, right? So it's like you're shrinking outside of like he needs Pat Gillick trades. The Phillies right now, because I don't think they have enough talent as it is. a lot of this is chemistry and how the team is playing at that time. And you're not going to know that till September, right? You're really not. You're not going to know, because the Phillies offense was at an historic clip in that Diamondback series. I remember going to Arizona. We broadcasted from Arizona. Ike and I and Jack. We were in Arizona. And we were like, woo, man, like, look at this. This is Castellanos was in a historic clip. Schwarber, Harper. And then the Diamondbacks are like, all right, we're not going to throw them strikes. And it hasn't been the same since. It hasn't. So, man, it's just they desperate. This is a stale offense. The starting pitching is great. I think they can fix some of the bullpen, but the bullpen's going to kill them, and this offense isn't good enough. Just
the Diamondback series is where like Topper lost me. I forget what his name is. I'm not a baseball savant, but the guy was like hitting 19 for 19, and he just wouldn't walk him. Like, okay, you set him up there to base load. You know this guy's going to hit. He's 17 for 17. Walk him. And Topper's like, nope, just pitch him. And I'm like, okay. Then the guy got in some kind of argument with the coach. The coach sat him down for a game. That took stones. Brought him right back up the next game. There wasn't a whole, well, his emotions, we don't know where he's going to be, what's going to go on, what's going to happen. You sat this guy on a run trying to get the World Series, and then you bring him back, and what does he do? 19 for 19, 20 for 20. I'm like, oh my God, Topper, you just keep pitching to this guy. Like, there's no strategy with him, so I don't have faith if you don't shake up and do something different with the team. Somebody talking about in the chat, call up Stubbs. I'm like, JT's not going to be here next year. He has no more power left. His body is holding on by a thread. Like we're Johnny Marks, we're going to World Series, but it doesn't feel good. And Dombrowski's got to get fired. Everybody's got to get fired. I hate to hear Johnny Marks.
So we're firing everybody right now.
Yeah.
Now or after the season?
Well, now it's not going to do me any good. So I guess after the season, I mean, it might let him fire Topper now. Get rid of Topper now. Didn't they just extend him?
I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, and fire him. Fire everybody. That's right. Never mind. That's right.
Fire everybody. If they fall apart in the playoffs, he may not be back. If they win they didn't give him an extension, so they didn't give him that extra year. I think he's very much managing for his job. Let's bring in Tyler Zulli, Mr. PHLY Phillies, who had an interesting stat about where teams are right now as far as being over 500. How many teams? Because listen, we got a couple of weeks to the trade deadline. 2 weeks to the trade deadline. Tyler, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And yeah, to BJ's point, like with 12 playoff teams now in baseball, everybody thinks they're still a contender up until the trade deadline and probably past the trade deadline. Right now, there are 22 teams in Major League Baseball who are 3 games under 500 or worse, including
22.
Yeah, 22, including teams, by the way, that we think that at the beginning of the year we thought could have been playoff teams, such as Cleveland, for example, or Texas, for example, or the Arizona Diamondbacks, who have had a slew of injuries. They're 47-50. But like, when you think about the wild card in the National League right now, the wild card teams are the Brewers, the Mets, and the Padres. So the Giants are a half game out. But there's also the Cardinals, who are about a game and a half out. The Reds are about 2.5 or 3. The Diamondbacks right now are like 3.5, 4 out. So like, there are still a lot of teams that think they can be playoff contenders. And I don't know if they'll push. I don't know if they'll make big splashes, but I think they may be hesitant to sell, especially if it's not an expiring deal. Like, I've heard rumors that the Diamondbacks are looking to move Eugenio Suarez, Zach Gallen. There's a bunch of different guys that they're looking to move. If all it's going to take is 2 good weeks where they maybe go, 10-3 in a 2-week span. And then they, all of a sudden they go from being 3 games under to 4 games over, and they're right there in the thick of things in the wild card race, and they think they could be a contender. So that's why, especially like you saw last year, teams that moved relievers at the deadline, relievers went for a lot. Tanner Scott went for 4 prospects. Like,
look at the Phillies.
The Phillies got 2 top 15 prospects for Gregory Soto.
And they gave up
Gregory Soto.
They gave up 2 top 10 prospects for an expiring Estevez.
Right. And that's why, honestly, maybe one of the best moves the Phillies made last deadline, because, Bergoya was a fine player, but I don't know how good he's actually going to be. Getting Tanner Banks for just Bergoya basically ended up being one of their better moves, because Banks has been really good since joining the Phillies. So I think it's one of those things where there's a lot of teams that still believe that they are playoff contenders, even if they're not really. Like, I could look at Major League Baseball and tell you there's 4 or 5 teams that are in the hunt that are not playoff worthy teams,
but
they think they are.
to your point, Phillies are playing the Angels after when they start back up. Angels are 2 games under 500. They're not real contenders, right?
No.
But if they're at 500 or 1 or 2 games back, they're not selling their team because you can't do that to your fan base.
Yeah,
They
the Angels
sucked for so long. They have to add more than they're going to sell, so they're out.
Yeah, the Angels stink. The Angels are not a good baseball team, they're playing well enough to give them some sense of false sense of security.
All right, so check this out. As of right now, if let's just say the trade deadline was tomorrow, the Orioles are sellers, and they could go on a run. They've been 6-4 in their last 10, but as of right now, I would say they're sellers.
They're sellers of veterans, right? They're not giving up their young talent
because they have so much young talent. They're just having a down year. They're having a sophomore slump because a couple years ago, it's like, man, they got all the young guys, but the young guys aren't vets, like you just said. Sorry.
So I'm talking about veteran relievers is really what I'm focused on. I mean, if Dombrowski is gonna get an impact bat, that's awesome. I just don't think that's going to happen. Do you guys think that they're acquiring an impact starting bat that we talked about? That's I think that maybe a minor move for the outfield for depth. I think this is the outfield they're going to have. Maybe that changes in the offseason. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like they're making a big splash.
I think there's a better chance of the impact player, quote unquote, being Justin Crawford than it is a major move.
Agreed. All right. So the White Sox could be sellers, and I don't even know what they have. The Athletics, but that's it in the American League right now. Cleveland's a couple games under 500. Kansas City's a couple games under 500. But like you said, you have a strong month of August, and you put yourself in a position. Black Gritty said it earlier. The Phillies were this team. The first year, they were this team, and they went on a run and made it to the World Series.
Diamondbacks were that team the next year too.
Yep. Diamondbacks next year,
and so everybody tells themselves it could be us.
Right. The Pirates are the team that have multiple players that they can move that are completely out of it. But like Tyler said, that means supply and demand. This is a free market, right? So if there's limited amount of relievers out there, guess what? Every team wants those guys. So that's gonna raise the prices on it.
Dennis Santana and David Bednar are going to go for more than they should.
And do you want to play ball, or you want to say no, it's not worth it? You know what?
Step up to the table.
You know what the Phillies have been doing a lot, because as you know, it's very sexy. Women find it very sexy. I pay very close attention to the Phillies minor league system. And right now in AAA for the last month, they've been shuffling guys in and out that have been in the majors before, that have major league experience, that were a AAA. So guys that they're trying to find lightning in a bottle from one of these guys. They're so desperate, even if they got one arm that could pitch the 7th inning. So they have these veteran guys, 27, 28, 29, 30 years old, 31, 32, that have been at AAA, that they're bringing in, that are getting out of their contract with other organizations, and they're coming in because they realize that the Phillies have a need. So they're trying to find at least one arm that way. And there are, I was just looking at box scores last week, who the hell's this guy? And you look and it's like, oh, they just signed him. And he's pitched in 150 games in the majors as a reliever. Okay, well, that's why they brought him in. So,
I mean, I think over the year they've done it plenty, right? They started with Kyle Tyler, who they brought in from the Marlins system, had pitched major league experience before. They tried to bring Nabil Krismet in. I thought he was a guy who might make the team. He just opted out. He's no longer with the club. They've tried Michael Mercado. They've tried Seth Johnson. They've tried Daniel Robert. The guy that they signed from Japan ended up getting demoted to AA because he wasn't good in AAA. And so they're trying, like you said, they're legitimately trying anybody to see who could stick at the major league level as a reliever. And they're not asking for high leverage. They're asking for a major league caliber arm.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back. We have of course, it happened right when we got off the air yesterday. Jalen Hurts, the 9th ranked quarterback on ESPN's list, but this isn't, Fugazi, Chubby Chase Daniel, who got fired yesterday. This is actually executives, offensive coordinators, scouts, and things in the NFL. We'll go over that. And also, we'll talk about it. If you want to try to be Skip Bayless, but you're not good at it, guess what happens? Your ratings suck and you get fired. That's what happened yesterday on FS1. A lot more ahead. Philly with John Marks, PHLY. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we go. Empire today. You need new flooring. I'm down in my basement. I have this beautiful laminate. It's a very good value. The cost isn't like hardwoods, but it looks great. And, we're not down our basement a lot. I don't want to get hardwoods down here. And sometimes you want to get hardwoods because you like the aesthetic look. That's upstairs. Down here, looks great. Doesn't matter. We're not on it that much. EmpireToday.com/PHLY. That's how you're going to save $350 off your new floor. And they bring the showroom to your room, because why would you want to go to a showroom to look at what they got? They bring it to your home so you see what your new flooring is going to look like in your space, with your lighting, with your furniture, with the color of the natural light. It all matters to what your flooring is going to look like. And they take precise measurements. And you're talking about flooring experts. This is all they do. So guess what? They do this 5 days a week, a couple weeks for vacation, 49 weeks a year. They're experts. Why would you want to go somewhere where they're dealing with plumbing and heating and they're doing this and they're doing that? Oh, yeah, yeah, sure. Let me help you with flooring in just a second. Don't go to the big box store. You're not going to save money. Empire Today. Experts in the industry. Precise measurements. You know exactly what you're getting with your free in-home estimate. EmpireToday.com/PHLY. EmpireToday.com/PHLY. All right, Rothman Ortho. Right now, my wife has this shoulder thing that she's got going on. And I'm like, all right, you're going to wait and you're going to say it'll get better. It'll get better. And then 3 weeks from now, you tweak it a little bit and the shoulder's hurting you again. If you're living in pain, you don't have to. In this time of year where you're outside being active, if you're not doing the things that you normally do, because maybe you're getting a little bit up there in age or you have an injury that's just not getting better, you don't have to live with nagging pain and you don't have to stop doing what you love. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. They'll get you back to doing what you want to do. It happened with me. I had this friggin' shoulder. I had a shoulder injury. Frozen shoulder. It took me a year. Went to Rothman. Easy diagnosis. No MRI. I could have gotten a cortisone shot. I elected not to. Physical therapy at Rothman in Limerick. 6 weeks of physical therapy. Discharged. Shoulder has never felt better. My range of motion is almost like all the way back. It's probably never going to come all the way back. But my shoulder feels great. So what do? 30 plus convenient offices, urgent cares, and walk-in centers. That's in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida. Get in there right now. New one down at the Navy Yard in South Philly. And you're going to find the full spectrum of orthopedic care, from diagnosis to discharge, every service and procedure necessary, x-rays, bracing, MRIs, physical therapy, and more. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. Hooah. All right, we're back. Philly with John Marks. Black Gritty in the house this morning. And as always, he has the wardrobe change. Always has props with him. He had a dog chain to start.
Hey, yo, man, this chain, man, I'm out here in these streets. You know what I mean? I'm out here in these streets, Johnny.
DMX did the Pitbull chain, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what made me think about it. That's funny you said that, because that's what made me. I was like, I can put this on and rock this thing, and nobody will know. They were like, you in the SMR or whatever it is they call it with little leather. I don't know. I'm not into that. I don't know what it is. I don't know
BDSM?
Hey, how you know? Hey, hey.
Well, I used to work in the adult industry.
Oh, okay.
Of course I know what BDSM is.
All right, good. I don't know the acronyms. I'm just saying I've heard of such things. I've seen the internet.
And I watched what was the show on I think it was Showtime with Bart Giamatti's kid, Paul Giamatti. And what was that called? I watched that for a while. It's a good show.
The show on HBO where they went to talk to real people about their sex lives and stuff like that. Like they were telling real story. Oh, man, I forget.
Taxi Cab Confessions?
Yeah. Is that what
it wasn't that. No, because they went to the street prostitute and she was bragging that she made like $200 in a night, but it was at $10 a clip.
Yeah.
She was bragging about it. I'm like, oh my God.
Maybe it was called Real Sex or something. I don't know. That Johnny Marks talk about being old. Remember when you had to see the squiggly lines on Cinemax when you were a kid? You had to put the magnet up there to try and pull them.
You could maybe see a titty.
Messing up grandma's TV. Johnny Marks. We are too old. We're too
Billions.
Old.
That's it. Tate Jeffries has it. Billions was the pretty good show.
Yeah.
Real Sex was not good. That was only a season, Real Sex, but I do remember it.
Yeah.
No, that was for a long time. 1990 through 2009.
There you go.
Right. Well, anyway, how did I get on that? Real Sex?
I don't know. What happened? I hate what happened. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Oh yeah, go Birds. Yeah, go Birds. All right, so let me pull this up. You know what happens? This is the list. This is the list here, right? This is when you do the list if you're in the media, because there's no games this week. There's not, there's going to be the All-Star game tonight, and then you don't have games for a couple of days. So all the media people freak out. So you come up with lists, and right now, ESPN.com, they have their trusty. So they have their trusty list, and yesterday they released the quarterback list. I think today is outside off the ball linebackers, which is, you got to put the quarterbacks out right before the off the ball linebackers. Yeah. So Jalen Hurts ranked 9th in the top 10. And again, this is not just some guy that these are NFL executives, scouts, offensive coordinators who speak to the ESPN reporters, and they do a rank. And so out. He has 9. I don't know why all of a sudden I can't find this, but he was ranked at number 9, which, I mean, listen, I think that it's not about the number necessarily. What it's really about is it's about who's ahead of you.
Yeah.
And the bums that they put ahead of him are out of control. So if you didn't hear the list, and I'm sure it was talked about all day yesterday on all the shows, Pat Mahomes won. I guess you have to put Pat Mahomes number 1.
But here's the thing. You put him there because he's got 3 championships.
I know.
And he's been to 5 Super Bowls. So you give him credit for Super Bowls. You give him credit for Super Bowl wins. Carry on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, has he declined because their offensive line isn't as good? Right? And their skill guys aren't as good. They did win a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, but their O-line we know wasn't as good last year. I just don't think he's the same player that he used to be.
He's not, and the narrative always kills me, because when you lose to Tom Brady, he didn't have an offensive line. Nobody said that Tom Brady won because they had no offensive line. 3 guys were injured. They had 3 guys backing up on the offensive line, and they got destroyed. Nobody brings that up. It's just you lost to Tom Brady. So I don't care that his offensive line is dinged up, whatever. Go out there and perform. Okay, we had guys go down. Our center had to have Dickerson be the center. People backed up. Things happen. Play the game.
Things happen. Yep.
Carry on with the list.
Josh Allen 2.
Fine.
Yeah, he hasn't made a Super Bowl, but we know he's a great player.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow 3.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. And I love Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow, you've regressed. You're not making it to the postseason. You got 2 of the best wide receivers in football. You cry to your ownership. Guess what? You, sir, are going backwards. You are the Philadelphia Phillies and 76ers of the NFL quarterback league. You are not 3.
I don't have a problem with Burrow being there. Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I think Joe Burrow is amazing. Their offensive line sucks, and it's a bad organization.
So, not my problem.
So I'm not this isn't even about Jalen Hurts, because when Jalen Hurts outplays you, and I'm talking about Pat Mahomes now. When Jalen Hurts outplays you head-to-head in the Super Bowl, and then when he's ranked 9th, it's he passing game. All right, let's move on. Lamar Jackson 4.
He's 3 to me, if you wanted to do that number game.
Okay. I like Lamar a lot. He obviously has to win in the playoffs. He's got to make a Super Bowl. I wish he would make a Super Bowl so we could stop saying he's got to make a Super Bowl. He doesn't play great in these games, in the big games, in the playoff games. Defenses they use different coverages. It gets more difficult in the playoffs, but Lamar Jackson is an unbelievable player.
So real quick, that's on him and Harbaugh. Last year, they win the game when Henry rushed for 22 rushes. How many rushes did he get? 17. You went away from what got you wins. And the year before that, they had the number 1 defense. Last year, they had one of the number 1 offenses. So he's had it both ways and still can't do it. Pressure bust pipes. They both fall under pressure. That's why I love Jalen Hurts. Carry on.
And to think that anybody in the league could have traded for Lamar Jackson a couple years ago. Remember? Just give up a couple draft picks. You could have had him.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels 5. This is surprising to me because I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's a great player. The play that I saw from him last year, the accuracy on the passes, the poise in the pocket, the damage he can do with his legs, the maturity, the leadership, all that stuff is off the charts. I can't give it to him after 1 year. I can't put him at number 5 after 1 year. And he belongs on the top 10. This is the CJ Stroud of last year. Yes. CJ Stroud didn't make the list this year.
Yeah.
because sometimes you regress in year 2. And I don't know. I love Jaden Daniels, but I wouldn't put him number 5 on this list.
I love CJ Stroud over Jaden Daniels. But again, like you said, he didn't make the list. I don't believe in the Commanders at all. So he shouldn't be 5. He hasn't earned anything. Not 5. Like somebody else you're going to mention on this list real soon.
Matt Stafford 6.
Fine.
I think more down towards 9 or 10. He belongs on the list. I'll put it this way: if I was a team that thought, like, if I was the Steelers, for instance, or a team that has a roster, I'm like, listen, we have a really good roster. We're missing the quarterback. I think Matt Stafford can win a Super Bowl with you. Still at this point, he's still a good player. He doesn't belong at 6 for me, but I'm okay with him being around that area.
I'll say 6 because he has McVay. He has a boy wonder at offense, and no matter what, they figured out. Wide receivers in, wide receivers out, running backs in, running backs out. They produce. Now, usually they lose 4 games and they go on like a 9-game winning streak, and everybody thinks they're the best in the world, forgetting that they lose the first half. But I'm fine with him at 6.
This is where I scratch my head a little bit. Justin Herbert 7. Justin Herbert is he's fine. He's good. Above average quarterback. They didn't ask him to do a lot last year as a passer. The same way the Eagles didn't ask Jalen Hurts to do a lot last year as a passer. Harbaugh likes a run-oriented game, play defense. Herbert was good last year. Herbert also doesn't win in the playoffs. He also doesn't show up in the playoffs, which should matter when talking about this list. Why are we focused on stats? Why? Justin Herbert 7, Black Ready.
First of all, Justin Herbert is a poor man's Joe Burrow, and you just said you like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had one shining moment. He beat the Chiefs one time, went to Super Bowl, and lost, and he hasn't even gotten back to the playoffs 2 years in a row. They are the same identical person. They throw interceptions late. They throw interceptions often, and the biggest thing for me is this hope and pedigree that you think this guy has is weird to me, because guess what? I watched Phillip Rivers be one of the best quarterbacks in history, and it doesn't matter. Nobody talks about him. Only thing you talk about Phillip Rivers is that boy's got 11 kids. He ain't got 11 championships. He ain't got 11 appearances. He's got 11 kids. He is the new Phillip Rivers. One, nobody cares about your team that keeps traveling and moving all over the place. You have no fans. You have no fan base. But everybody thinks that Justin Herbert's going to be somebody. He's a nobody, and it's embarrassing that people keep putting this on him. He is Phillip Rivers. He's never – I guarantee you, Johnny Marks, he is never winning a championship ever in his life. I'll get Justin Herbert tattooed on my back if he wins a championship. That's how I know Justin Herbert is never winning a championship. Phillip Rivers 2.0.
Phillip Rivers, major stat compiler. Justin Herbert 0-2 in the playoffs. Whether or not that's his fault or not, it doesn't matter.
That's not my problem.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for Lamar. Like, we can talk in between, like, oh, well, like Lamar this, Lamar that. Bottom line is, as a quarterback, you get paid to win. Period. And Justin Herbert, after his rookie year, it was like he's the guy you want. Like, oh man, he's got accuracy and he protects the football and he's athletic. He can do this and do that. How many years has he played? How many years are we talking about with Justin Herbert right now? 6?
Just because he went to Dr. Glad and got good hair, I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
I mean, listen, he is handsome for sure. This will be his 6th season. He's 27 years old, dude.
It's dumb to me, but it has a lot to do with it. His looks and his thing, like, they want him to be the face of something, and he's the face of mediocrity.
All right, well, the face of the best pure passer in the league, according to this, at number 8 is Jared Goff, ahead of Jalen Hurts at number 9. Jared Goff, your thoughts?
Jared Goff has done very well for himself. He's at least been to a Super Bowl. He has, his team is stacked. When he got injured, did he outperform? Did he help lift up the team? He did not. Does he have like 3 or 4 games with 5 and 6 interceptions? Yes, he does. As much as we talk about Jalen Hurts to turn over the ball and, they got to go to the run because Jalen Hurts turned over the ball. Yeah, 2 interceptions here and there. Not 5 in a game. Not 6 in a game. Not 3 times in the season you throw more than 3 interceptions in a game. Jalen Hurts has never. Jared Goff could never, ever. Oh, God.
Remember that the playoff game against Washington, he had 3 interceptions.
Yeah. He just beat. And again, to his credit, he'll keep flinging it. But I mean, it's just.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. At number 9, Jalen Hurts. And let me read you what it is. And again, this isn't Chris Sims coming up with this list. This is NFL executives, coaches, coordinators, and et cetera. Hurts' status is cemented. Is it? He's a Super Bowl winner who plays big in big moments. He's the most potent short yardage quarterback in NFL history. His streak of 4 consecutive seasons with 10 or more rushing touchdowns is the league's longest ever for a passer. He's also one of the game's most accurate passers, ranking first in completion percentage over expected, some metric. And he throws a beautiful deep ball. That touchdown pass to Devontae Smith in Super Bowl was a work of art. AFC executive said, who voted him in the top 5, said he had a better year running the ball, and the way he played down the stretch when he was healthy was impressive. Better throwing the ball in general this year, and he cut down on the turnovers. And they don't have any negative comments towards him, but it says the question isn't whether Hurts belongs in the top 10. It's whether he has the ability from the pocket to vault into the top 5 eventually, as his Super Bowl pedigree would suggest that he could. Operating from the pocket as a quarterback isn't a prerequisite to play the position. Everybody wanted the Eagles to win last year the way they wanted the Eagles to win last year. You can't run the ball and you can't play defense to win. You can't have Jalen Hurts as the quarterback because he can't throw the ball well enough for the Eagles to win. And all season long, we said, well, they keep winning like this. Why can't they win like this? Why do they have to throw the ball 40 times a game? Why can't Jalen Hurts throw the ball 25 times a game to win? It's working. It's effective. Why? Why do they have to ranking a quarterback based on the way that they want him to play from the pocket? Guess what? The quarterback position in 2025, running the ball matters. It does. The game has changed. Lamar Jackson isn't just ranked top 5 on the list because he's a great passer, which he is. It's because he's potent in the running game, as is Jalen Hurts. I'm so sick of hearing does he have the ability to work from the pocket? Did he have the ability to do that in 2 Super Bowls? He did. He proved it. I just don't know what else. I don't know what else he needs to do. I like the whole pocket thing. Why? Oh, he can't throw from the pocket. Well, he's not the best. Like you don't need him to throw the ball 50 times a game. You don't want him throwing the ball 50 times a game. That doesn't mean that he's not. It doesn't take anything away from him as a quarterback. Your thoughts?
So you're absolutely right. My biggest problem are the fans that make this complaint about Jalen Hurts. During the season, everybody and their mom, myself included, said, "You've got the best offensive line in the league. Run the ball." Your offensive line came to the coach and said, "Hey, coach, run the ball." Then you've got a quarterback who puts his ego aside, doesn't care about what his stat numbers are. He'll rush for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. He'll pass for 3 touchdowns. So he can't win. When he passes the ball and beats every defense, well, he's got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and what do you expect him to do? When he doesn't, it's like, well, he's got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Why is he passing the ball? Because they're running, and they've got Saquon Barkley. They've got defensive line. So he's in a no-win situation, and I'm in a great place because I love getting mad, people doing dumb stuff and hating on us. And if I get mad, I know that he gets mad, and we are the champions of the world. And I got a quarterback that sat there in the Steelers game was like, is that what you want? You want me to throw the ball 30? I could do it if the defense allows it. And then he backed that up in the playoffs. Everybody in the playoffs said, we've got to stop Saquon Barkley. If we do that, Jalen Hurts ain't nobody. And all of them got walked to the doghouse. And it feels so good, Johnny Rice. It's the only positive thing I got in the city. Only thing I got. Well, the Flyers making moves. I got hope. At least for the Flyers. Flyers got hope.
We'll come back. We have our BetParx Parlay of the day. Also, the FS1 whacked a bunch of people yesterday. And again, if you want to just have takes to have takes, and you sound stupid doing it, like Chubby Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel, he was, and you almost feel bad for him because, not him necessarily, but when they're given this edict by management, hey, this is what you got to do, and the show sucks, and all their shows sucked, then you get whacked. And they all got whacked yesterday. Not that I feel good about people losing their jobs. That's all ahead. Philly with John Marks, PHLY. Why? Because we got to talk to you about BetParx. That's right. I was just down the shore here, wherever. Maybe you go up the mountains, laying by the pool. I'll be at the pool. It's supposed to be sunny this afternoon. How about live betting on sports? It's just better on the BetParx app. Casino action. Sports betting wherever you are. So, you maybe you're not at home and you're on the road a little bit. BetParx. Plus, right now, BetWire is live. It's right inside the BetParx app. Think TikTok or Instagram, but for people that love sports betting more than dance tracks, right? And you know what else you can find on the BetWire inside the BetParx app? Me! That's right. It's a live feed with game picks from all across the country. You can scroll a little bit to see who else is there. You can tail a pick and get fired up with BetWire, the live sports betting content feed right inside the BetParx app. And the BetParx app is free. You can download it right now. Go to betparx.com or wherever you get your apps. Just search BetParx. There are new games on the BetParx app as well. Puff and More Puff, Mega Fire Blaze, The Flintstones, Yabba Dabba Doo, and Money Horse. Blackjack, Baccarat, hot online slots, and more. Live dealer right on your phone, tablet, or laptop. New users can get up to $1,000 cash back. See betparx.com for terms and conditions. You love to play, you play to win, you bet BetParx. You must be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, Ace Hardware Home Services. I got a lot going on. Right now, I have a problem with the fridge. All right, and luckily, it's covered by an extended warranty. Because, but once if it's not, what do? Right? You go in, you don't have the yellow pages anymore. So now you're Googling and you're like, all right, who can come out and fix my fridge? Who can come out and fix my HVAC? Ace Hardware Home Services. You don't need to Google. AceHardwareHomeservices.com. We're talking about a wide range of residential maintenance, seasonal maintenance, installation, upgrades, and more. Local plumbers and techs that handle everything from repairs, maybe your HVAC at the beginning of every season, right? So before winter, in fall, and then in spring, I have HVAC. I have my techs come out. You got to do it. Free estimates on equipment installation and replacement with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and your budget. Service you can trust and satisfaction is guaranteed. Ace Hardware Home Services are local, they're live, and they're serving in your community. And they're dedicated to keeping your comfortable home. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Hoo-ah, we are back. Philly with John Marks, PHLY. Yeah, yesterday on our BetParx Parlay of the day, I like James Wood to win the home run derby last night. So it's the video I put up on the BetParx app, on the BetWire. And of course he didn't do it. He hit like a 500-foot home run, but of course he didn't do it. But yeah. Freaking catcher wins the home run derby. It's not very exciting.
I won the derby, Mom. I say it again, son. Say it again, son. I won the derby. I was like, fine. Have your moment, son.
Yeah, it was nice that his dad threw to him, so it was made you feel warm.
It did
you feel good. I actually said in the video that I didn't think he was going to win because his dad isn't his normal pitcher during batting practice, and he won anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to our BetParx Parlay of the day. All right, let's start with Tyler Zulli because so he officially used that play yesterday, and I loved it. I did. That was my pick as well, but it didn't happen last night. Tyler, what do you have for us today? Uh-oh, you're muted there, buddy.
There we go. There we go. I have to unmute myself in two different spots because I'm using a Rodecaster soundboard. So I have to do it on the soundboard and on StreamYard here. So not a whole lot to play today. So I think we'll probably overlap a little bit. I'm gonna take a play on the All-Star game. I think that the National League hasn't scored a lot of runs in the last 5 All-Star games, 3 or less in 5 consecutive All-Star games. This lineup for the National League is really, really good. At least the starters are. I think their offensive depth is really good. The over for the National League today is 3.5. Well, both teams' overs are 3.5. I don't know if the National League is going to win this game. The American League are slight favorites at -104. But I do think that the National League, for the first time in 5 years, will score more than 3 runs. I'm going to take the National League over 3.5 runs today at +104.
An All-Star game is 3.5 runs over under. That's nuts.
Both teams are 3.5. I mean, the pitching's so good.
I know.
Right?
No, believe me, I know. All right, BG, do you have something?
I'm taking the Fever over the Suns WNBA. And give me the Fever with the points. I don't know what BetParx got there. I'll make y'all look that up because I know y'all ain't checking out the ladies like I do.
15.5.
It's not true. I bet a WNBA game and I got Did you see? Tyler sent it to me. I got backdoored. The line was 10.5. They won by 10. I took the liberty.
Hit with the hook.
I'm taking the fever tonight.
15.5, BG, minus 114.
Yeah, cash money.
Summer of 2015, I was in Vegas for a Sixers summer league with Anthony and Jamie, and we had to go off the strip to bet on WNBA games. It was crazy. Then they didn't take him in the books, but for whatever reason, Jamie Lynch he was on this run of WNBA games, and he couldn't miss. So I forget the casino we went to off the strip. We were cashing. It was like throwing a hook when bluefish are hungry in a feeding frenzy. You throw the hook out there. That was WNBA picks with Jamie Lynch some 9 years ago.
Free money.
It was like free money. All right, I'm gonna take the Wizards tonight minus 4.5 over the 76ers summer league team. You've been impressed with? Have you watched any 76ers summer league?
Yeah, I watched a couple of minutes here and there. I'm depressed, bro.
Okay.
I'm depressed. Like, I'm so depressed and angry at everything. It just makes me sick to even look at it for 2 seconds. I'm not happy Johnny Marshall's at 76ers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Wizards just because I'm gonna pile on the Sixers.
There you go.
That's our BetParx Parlay of the day. All right. So yesterday kind of came down because I saw Craig, because Craig Carton's show also got canceled yesterday.
Yay. I think every time I see him, I'm like, how's he on TV and I'm not? I'm better than him. Go ahead.
Craig is as good as it gets doing radio. And anytime he's ever done TV, he's not very good. And yet he got another opportunity. They were paying him over $1 million a year. He left WFAN. And if you watched the show, you knew pretty early on that it wasn't good. And then they tried to redo it. They brought in Mark Schlereth and this guy, Danny Parkins, that did radio in Chicago.
Man, he is a herb nerd.
I'll say it. Jack and I text a lot about Parkins, and not that I don't think he's a bad guy or anything like that. I don't know him, but his agent must have a good agent, because for him to get a national show on FS1, where these are heavyweights that are making a lot of money that are doing this stuff. Most of them suck, but if you're good, I watched the show and I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. I'm not telling you I could go on and do that show and do it well, because they're doing takes. They're trying to turn him into the next Nick Wright. That's all they're trying to do. And you know what? He may be able to do it. He ain't there yet, man, because I don't give a damn what he said. I don't give a damn what Nick Wright says, but at least he can be a little bit entertaining. At least Skip was an idiot and you laughed at him. Shannon Sharp was very good. Those guys were good together. Stephen A. and Skip were good to start. The problem is they do all these shows and they try to do the same show, and they're trying to recreate it with younger talent with the same template. Man, you can't do that. It's 2025. People don't want to tune in to hear Chubby Chase Daniel just make up an opinion because he's being told to do that and sound like an idiot saying it. So the shows don't work. Yeah. So pretty much everybody was let go yesterday from FS1.
Joy Taylor, Paul Pierce, who's trash.
So Breakfast Ball, that's the Carton show. Although they're going to keep Danny Parkins around. They're just going to do another show. The Facility, which was that the Joy Taylor show?
No, the Facility was Acho, Shady, Chubby Chase, and Jones.
Okay, that show was terrible.
Yeah.
And Acho's another guy. You know what Acho could have been? He could have been the guy that gave real analysis. And when you give real analysis, sometimes you have to play the game a little bit. Like Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky can't do straight analysis, or you're too boring, right? Yeah. So he'll give you analysis, and then he'll play the first take game a little bit. Acho could have been that guy. Tyler and I talk about this a lot. Acho was good when he first started, or he was good enough when he first started. When he tried to be the guy that was contrarian with every opinion that he did, it wasn't believable when he came off as trying to sound too smart, and he tried too hard. Nobody wants to watch that. So he got whacked.
The real problem is that they didn't get any sports rights. FS1 got outbid everywhere. They didn't get basketball. They didn't get baseball. They didn't get football. And not for nothing, that's the only reason ESPN's still around. People watch it because you're already stuck to the channel and you leave it on when you wake up in the morning. That's the thing that happens because you're watching the game that night. You wake up next morning, still done. And this nostalgia. But they didn't get any rights. And without rights, you don't have advertising dollars. So it doesn't matter if your show sucks or not. You can't support those big shows and those big contracts. So you reboot over and over and over again. Yeah. Again, Nick Wright actually has talent. Like, he actually can put together things, be funny, laugh at himself.
Yeah,
that dude you talk about on the Breakfast Ball, like that dude's a herb. And no offense, looking at you, looking at me, like, yeah, I'm overweight, bald, whatever. Looking at me, look at him. Somebody's going to take my opinion over that dweeb. I know kids that I have more credibility and belief in than that loser. That loser looks like he's never had a girlfriend, never been on a field of any kind of sport. And it's like, who are you to tell me anything about sports and talk about players the way you do, sir? Sir, do my taxes. Don't do my taxes.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I mean, and Nick Wright's been doing it for a long time. He's also he's much more natural at doing it. I mean, Parkins was on this website, this industry website that used to do rankings of radio shows, and they would ask program directors. They would send a surveys to program directors around the country. And Parkins was on Afternoon Drive in Chicago, so like we were ranked against them, and he was ranked ahead of us. He was like him and this guy Matt Spiegel, and I'm sure they're both nice guys. This is a straight up boring AM radio show that does interviews to kill segments, like 20-minute interviews. There's no personality. There's nothing. I mean, really, there's no balls, no creativity. It's an AM radio show that sucks. And the show was ranked ahead of us, and their ratings blew. We're talking about, you look at the ratings of the show, and it's like, we gotta make a move. They actually did, and I'll say this, they actually did inside of Odyssey. They had a group, like they had a panel of people inside trying to figure out why the station sucked and why the show sucked and it couldn't get ratings. And I'm like, hey, I got my hand raised up. You want to know why? Listen to the show for one day and you'll know why. They do interviews and do interviews. And they think that they're like, yeah, their chemistry, like, oh, yeah, they're chubby. It's boring as all bleep. It is. So now he gets promoted to TV, leaves radio. Oh, my God, dude, don't get me started. That's why Jack and I would text, because we know this guy sucks. And it's like, we're like, oh, my God, man. Like, really? Oh, my God.
This guy?
Yeah, and he remains around. So Joy Taylor's let go, and there was a lot going on there. Keyshawn, that show was terrible. Paul Pierce was terrible. James, like Shady, that show was terrible. So all these shows suck. The only live shows they have right now are Cowherd, which is an excellent show, and the Nick Wright show. I don't even know the name of it because I don't watch it. But I think Nick's fine. I like Nick. I just don't watch the show.
I'm going to go apply to FS1 right now, try and get a job.
Jesus Christ, man. You're not kidding. So the big name that is now being mentioned is that, like, oh, well, Tony Reality's a free agent. And, they got Around the Horn got canceled. Tony Reality's a free agent. So, like, he's going to come in and, like, they're going to hire him. And he's on vacation with an extended vacation with his family. So he's taking some time off. When he comes back, he's going to consider all options, right? Let me say this, and I have nothing against Tony Reality, and I didn't really watch Around the Horn when he did it. And by the way, if you're watching on TV, slide on over to allphly.com because we're officially in overtime. Here we go. Hoo-ah. All right, so if you think that Tony Reality is going to be able to go to FS1 and do a show, and I don't know what the show would be, if it would be one of these take shows or whatever, Tony Reality did a good job as being the moderator of a show that was already established and was in a great time spot and was after PTI. And really, you would have to be so offensively bad at that job to fail at it. And Tony Reality's a likable dude, and they had the personalities that were on the show, and it gets stale after a while, and he was fine. I would bet anything on this. If you're going to put him in a situation where now he's got to be the driving force of a show on FS1, and you're FS1, you're not ESPN, it is not going to work. And he's going to make a lot of money, and they'll pay him, and he'll get a couple-year contract, and it is going to be as boring as you think it's going to be. Tony Reality is not going to be successful at doing his own thing at FS1. Agree or disagree, Blackman?
So I agree, and I love Reality. I think he's great. I grew up on that show, like in my prime sports time. His personality is great. That show worked. But I can't remember what his real opinions are on actual sports because he would defer to a panel of 5 and you only have 13 seconds to talk. So his whole thing was like, I agree, I don't agree. And I don't know I don't know what his opinions are. I don't know what his takes are. I don't know what his thought process is. So I don't know that he could do a good job just carrying a show that wasn't built around the show that he's doing, if that makes sense. But I love him as a human being. I thought he did a great job. I felt nostalgic when I watched the last episode. Like, oh my God, like this is this is TV. This is like watching Bob Barker go off. You know what I mean? But I don't know if Bob Barker could carry another show. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Could Bob Barker go do a talk show?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, he's dead right now, but yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
In the height of The Price is Right, could he have left The Price is Right and said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something different. And The Price is Right got canceled. Now he's doing a show like he's doing a Maury Povich. He could probably do Maury Povich, but could he do something different? I like reality a lot too. I thought he was good at it around the horn, but now you got to carry a show unless he's going to be the moderator on some show. And that's not the format of anything right now. You got to be the show.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that he can, because I've never, like you had said, he'll have 5 seconds at the end of a segment to be like, oh, wait, like he'll have a quick kind of kick in the ass on the way out the door, and then he moves on to the next thing. You know the name, and I know you like this guy, and I see people in the chat. Max Kellerman. I would love. I'm a big Max Kellerman fan.
I love Max Kellerman.
I love Max Kellerman. I think he's entertaining. He's smart. He's likable. He can be a dick when he needs to be.
Yep.
He doesn't mind being a bad guy. He used to be a white rapper, which I have to appreciate because I like white rappers.
I love Max Kellerman. Like Terrell Owens, one of the greatest things he did in life was say that I think Max is a little blacker than you, Stephen A. And I think that's what your problem is. They got Max fired, but man, he never told a lie. That's the truest thing I've ever seen on sports media. I swear to Jiminy Christmas. When T.O. said that, I say, yes, Lord, T.O., you hit it on the head. It got Max fired, but he's back now at ESPN. But they should go grab him up. You know what I mean? They should go grab him up.
Yeah, he's good. He could do a show.
Oh yeah, free Chick-fil-A today, by the way. For anybody who's left in here, that's a pro tip for the people that stuck around with us.
Why?
It's something that you got to go to the app and put in Moo. It's their like Moo Day of the year, July 15th. Seriously? Yeah, I'm being dead serious. Chick-fil-A has free food today. It's code Moo, and gets you like a meal or something like that. So my phone just alerted me. It all just dinged. So yeah, Google it, check it out. But it's code name Moo.
Just so you know, the Chick-fil-A app is not far from my thumb, as I ordered a lot.
You breed Chick-fil-A. You just die. Well, you got kids, you got daughters. You probably live in Chick-fil-A drive-through. You like
you said, and I have one picky daughter. And oh no, I don't go in the drive-through. I park and I go right in and grab it. Okay. I can't, and they're very efficient at the drive-through. I've never seen it. I've never seen a fast food place as efficient.
Yeah, they're
unbelievable. Unbelievable. But like $23 on the Chick-fil-A app, I can get a big thing of nuggets and I don't know if it's 2 or 3 large waffle fries, and that's it. And it feeds all of them, and they're all happy. And the picky daughter loves the Chick-fil-A nuggets. Boom, $23 for a meal. Yep.
Oh,
Dunzo.
Yeah, check it out.
Play code MOOD for food rewards. Ooh, you have to play the game.
Yeah, it's to get you an app, like I said, but it's free.
I'm here right now. I'm going to do it in just a second. Sorry
to throw you off.
Yeah.
He was like, free Chick-fil-A. You know how much money I got Chick-fil-A stock in here. The GDP is high. It's free.
Woo! All right. Black Gritty. We can find everything you do at blackgritty.com. Merch.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Your OnlyFans.
Yeah, my OnlyFans is popping now. I'm grown now. I can go do what I want to in these streets. You know
oh my God. I have such a great OnlyFans story. But I have to, we're out of time. I can't waste the 3-minute version of it. No. And I was saving it for you too. And I just thought about it
next
right now.
Tuesday. We'll lead the show off with it.
All right.
OnlyFans.
Yes. Like the Phillies lost last night, but let's talk about OnlyFans.
What we do.
So we have the rank PHLY ranks. It's the top 10 list coming up at 7:00 tonight. The 76ers list will be out. Tyler Zulli, do you have any Phillies content coming out today?
Yeah, so today we're going to continue our grades for the first half. We're going to do the bullpen. Starting pitching got a lot of high marks, a lot of A's, especially for the top 3 guys. I don't think the bullpen's going to get the same love. But so we'll do our our first half grades today. Rank week continues. If you don't mind, check out the PHLY Phillies rank week that we dropped yesterday at 7:00. Top 10 came out yesterday, so that was the first episode to drop this week.
Yep, and if you don't catch them live, they're all, like Tyler's saying, they're all available on YouTube. And Tyler's the PHLY Phillies came out last night at 7:00. So check that out. Black Gritty, I'll talk to you, man. Everybody, have a great day. And just remember, subscribe, like, all that good stuff on YouTube. We'll talk to you tomorrow live at AM. See ya.
the mayor.